Hey, what's going on, guys? Big Duke here, 1/3 member of the legendary group, the Hogsmen. And tonight, Mike and Dev bring you the anniversary show. That's right. What a crazy year it has been, filled with amazing guests, hot topics, and you guessed it, plenty of hogs. I hope you submitted your questions or topics to discuss on their Twitter page or Instagram. So without any further ado, time for the podcast.
And now for the moment that you've all been waiting for. From just north of the border, he's the hombre with no nombre. Mi hermano from another mamo. He's Ramona's favorite son. El numero uno.
That's right. You're listening to one of the three Hogsmen. Devin, still not here. He's going to be gone for a while. And Duke can't make it this week. Said he'll be in next week. But it's Tuesday night, January 26th, 2021. You know what tonight is, Adam?
What is tonight? Other than the anniversary of Kobe Bryant's death.
Well, we just went south real quick. We just went south. But it is the anniversary of the show. 1 year ago today, I walked in with my phone. I had downloaded an app, and I said, Devin, let's do a podcast. And my buddy Hunter Freeman was also in the room, and I said, Hunter, you want to hang out? And he said, sure. And Hunter joined in on the podcast. And tonight, making his return to the podcast, the Southern Redneck or SoCal Redneck.
Get it right, damn it.
I can't even remember what it is. But it's Hunter Freeman. Welcome back to the show. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
When was the last time you were on?
Probably the summer. I think that was the last time I was on.
Crazy, man. Crazy. You went dark.
A lot of stuff happened in my life.
Exactly. We'll get to that. We're going to get to it. We're going to go around the room, though. We got a full house here. Call us the Tanners. My next guest, you've seen him on the WWE, on the network. He's killing it, doing a great job. And Hunter's wearing his shirt.
Atta baby.
Domenik Mysterio.
What's up, guys? Thanks for having me again.
Welcome back again. This is about, what, the fourth time you've been here?
I think third.
Killer. Glad to have you on. It's always fun. And then we got a little bit of an audience here. We got making his return from last week, the sweetest man in the room, sweet Robin Shaw.
Hello, everyone. I couldn't get enough.
Exactly. Couldn't get enough. And we also got a debuting Sexy Fab.
Got a rookie in here.
Green rookie over here, Sexy Fab.
Actually, but you hung out one time on the podcast.
Yeah, there was one time that I came, so second time here.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Appreciate it. It's an honor to be here.
We got a little bit of a audience. I expect some This Is Awesome chants, some Talk Forever chants during this anniversary show.
You ever had a This Is Awesome chant before? One of your matches?
Yeah, I remember the first one was with Famous B.
Really?
Yep. Famous B.
Famous B.
Shout out Famous B.
He's an incredible wrestler, man. It was a good match too. It was online.
Where was this at?
SoCal Pro.
Really?
Yep.
Nice.
Awesome dude.
Yeah. How have you met? How'd you meet?
Lucha Underground.
Oh, that's right. Because he was signed to it, and then your dad was on it for a little while.
Yeah, really cool guy.
Yeah, he is. So lot of very fun guy to wrestle with. But Hunter,
What's up?
let's talk to you real quick. So, 2020 for a lot of people was a bad year, but you know what? I got a room full of guys. It was a pretty good year. Some good stuff happened.
Very true.
Normally, guys, you find a girlfriend, you get married, you buy a house, and you have a kid. And it's a little bit of a, you take it over stages, right? A little bit of a time. Hunter said, fuck that. Let's just do it. Let's get it all out of the way at once.
All out of the way. One shot, one kill. That's the way I look at it.
And you got yourself a wife.
Got a wife,
a kid, and a house basically all at the same time.
Pretty much with a span of, the 9 months for the kid. But, yeah, bought a house, got married I think in almost the same month. And next thing you know, December the 11th, 2020, little Preston J. Freeman, also known as PJ, was born.
Congratulations. And hold on real quick. I remember Dom saying this back in the day, but is he going to take on the duty? Is he going to be godfather to your child?
That is 100%. He is. You know the story. You know the story, right? You know who else's birthday is on December the 11th.
No. Who?
Whose birthday is on December the 11th?
Oh, for real?
My dad.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
Guess how much PJ weighed?
8 pounds.
6 pounds. Guess how long he was?
I don't know. I don't know these. I don't know who kids are.
He
when
was
they go.
19 inches, so he was 6'19". He was a
How
true
crazy is that?
That's
6'19"
nuts, man.
baby.
That's funny. That's
Yeah.
funny.
I said, well, pretty much that's what I told Meryl after I said, damn, it's Dom's dad's birthday. He's 6'19". I said, son, you were born and raised in San Diego. This
Hell yeah.
is truth right here.
And not to make things weirder, but I'm pretty sure the baby was conceived on my birthday.
There you go.
Yeah, WrestleMania. Yeah, for sure.
There you
April
go.
5th, and that's my birthday.
There you go. That's cool, man. Hunter, congratulations.
Thanks, bro.
Over the past couple years, you and I have gone through some stuff together, but we did it together.
We did.
And I appreciate everything you do for me, and I hope you appreciate everything I do for you.
I do. I appreciate it. Thank you. It was also a good year, too. I got to hit the plug, but I did also win the Ground Zero Championship.
Yes, you did.
As well.
Yes, you did.
Out of nowhere.
And now that's you've held the SoCal Pro Championship. You held that.
Held the SoCal Pro Championship. I've held the tag team belts there at SoCal Pro, and now I'm now holding the Ground Zero Championship.
Good for you. Good for you.
This means a lot whenever a company can decide they want to put the weight of the company on your shoulders. I don't know. I feel like I'm still trying to figure this shit out, but
we all are.
Yeah.
We all are. It's so like when they get you get a belt, you're like, I don't know. I don't really know what to do with the belt. It's a whole nother can of worms. Wrestling, they teach you how to wrestle.
Yeah.
But now it's like, okay, teach me how to how am I supposed to be the on top guy?
It's one of those where, like you even said it before. The belt's a prop. It's the person that the belt goes around.
Yep.
What's gonna put an ass in every seat is the thing. Is the way I look at it.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I wanna try to be as everything that I can for the fans out there. Even though we don't have fans, we're slowly trying to bring fans back. You know what I mean? But I still want to be the face of this company, and that way they know every time they come to a Ground Zero show or any show that I'm on, they know that I'm going to show them a good time and entertain them and give them one of the best matches I can possibly give them. So I feel like that's all of us. So I feel like that would be with anybody that's here in this room. You know what I mean? That's the goal in life that's the goal in wrestling, I would say, is we were fans. We all grew up
At
fans.
one point.
At one point we were. Now we're in this business, but our end goal in life is to make everybody who comes and pays their hard-earned money to watch us, get them to go home happy or go home pissed off or whatever, just so where next time they can come back to the next show. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So.
Well, you had my vote for the SoCal Uncensored Match of the Year, you and Andy.
Thank you.
I can't remember what show it was for Ground Zero, but
It was the one in January.
the one where you swerved.
The first one, right?
Yeah, it was the first one
Yeah.
in January. The resolution.
The one where you even got me, man. I thought they put the belt on you, and they did. You guys did a great job of playing that off, and I was happy for you.
It was a huge honor, man. Just to when you see the list of matches that were on there and just the people on there. You talking about guys in New Japan and Ring of Honor, and they're working for Prime Time and different things like that. It was very. You kind of picked on me a little bit for what was it you said when I was like, just an honor to be mentioned.
Yeah.
But
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
You want the win.
Yeah, no, but it was just like you sit there and you look at it and it's just like, damn, like I'm being mentioned with all of these guys on here, and it's just it's very humbling for a small town boy like me to be mentioned with that in Southern California, which is a big friggin' area. So it was pretty cool.
I thought you deserved it. I watched the match. I was there in person. The fucking crowd went nuts.
Appreciate it.
And, I looked at that list and I said, if anybody deserves it, that match deserves it.
Appreciate it, dude. Thank you.
Let's move over to, speaking of. So we have the SoCal Uncensored Awards, right? They just came out, and they have a Rookie of the Year award. Why was Domenik Mysterio not on that fucking list?
I know, right?
Now, if you would have just had one goddamn indie match, Dom, you could have been on that list. Or if the Fed came to Southern California and you had one match, you could have easily taken that award. Because, seriously, you fucking deserve it.
appreciate it.
You
Thank
fucking deserve it, man. I was like, God, Dom Mysterio. Why is he not on that? But
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it was an honor to be like nominated for the Slammies. So that like
hell yeah.
I grew up watching that. So like being nominated for Rookie of the Year with like a bunch of list of like so much talent with like the Street Profits, Bianca Belair, Otis, like it was really cool. So just honored.
Before we so last time we talked, you were just getting ready to debut against the match with Rollins at what was that? Was that SummerSlam?
Yeah, SummerSlam.
Fucking hell of a match. Let's go way back in time to all the way. When is SummerSlam again?
August.
Let's go back to August 2020. You're about to go through the curtains. You've gone over your match in the back. Tell me, man, how'd it feel, bro? Finally, all this work you put years into training. Finally, you got to go debut. How'd it feel, man?
I mean, it was definitely like a breath of fresh air almost. Like it was like the debut was over because I felt like there was so much pressure behind it. But at the end of the day, like I felt like I had to go out there and just do what I had to do. And like I didn't even like I wasn't worried about like what people would think or anything. I just kind of was worried on making sure the match was good and making sure Seth was happy and the people in the back were happy. So that's why the first thing I asked my dad like fresh out was how was the match, because I wanted to make sure that the people were happy with what I had given them for my first time.
Yeah. Is it also? It's such a huge hump to get over. You can train all you want. But there's nothing like being in the match environment. You start to go, oh, I get it now. Okay, I can understand why we were running all these drills. Why they were trying to beat this, psychology into my head. Basic fundamentals, all that kind of stuff. Because you come here to training, you spend hours, running spots, running the ropes, going back and forth, bumping, all that kind of stuff, and then you get in the match and you just hammer it out once. You hammer out the match once, and you go, oh, yeah, it's over. And actually, they gave you a good amount of time on your debut.
We didn't have a specific amount of time. I just remember them saying whatever you guys need, and we were aiming for I think 15 to 20, and I think we went almost 30.
Dude, that's not too many people get that amount of time on debuts.
Yeah.
But it's. Do you kind of feel like, okay, now that you've been doing matches the past however many months, do you kind of feel like, okay, do you look at it a little bit differently as far as wrestling wise, as opposed to before you started doing matches, you were just training? Is it a little bit clearer now?
Yes.
Like match structure, psychology, all that kind of stuff?
Much more clear, especially because, like, I don't know, I've been very blessed with opportunities that I've been given. So, like, those WWE refs, man, they're on another level. And, like, just working with Seth and, like, picking his brain and, like, match structure, like, everything just came together so good that, like, I understand it in a different way, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. You got to get in there, man. You got to get in there, and you got to bang out a match and then go, oh, okay. All right, I see what they're talking about now. Yeah. It makes it a little bit easier to understand. What everybody wants to know is, since you've debuted, have you shit your pants in the ring?
No, but I remember I told you I was pretty close, and I thought I got thrown into this wall, and I immediately farted. Like, it was, and I have no shame in this. I instantly farted, and the first thing that came to my mind was like, fucking Mike. but then I just realized it was just a fart, so that was good.
Dude, how funny would it be, like, your first match, you're like, holy crap, you guys aren't gonna believe this, my first match I shit myself, and I'd be like, welcome to the fucking squad, dog. Welcome to the squad. You guys, y'all, hey, Shaw, I didn't ask you, man, you shit your pants in the ring yet?
Yes, I have.
Attaboy.
Nice.
Give that man the microphone right now. Tell me about this.
Well, part of it is because my digestive system's all jacked up because of my surgery, so sometimes it's hard to hold it. I did the Undertaker apron leg drop thing to Diego Valen's V-. I went for it and I hit and I thought I farted and I was like, that's a little wet.
Oh,
it was
nice.
the worst, and I went through the whole match, and I could smell it. I get to the back, and I told Diego, I was like, I am so sorry. And he said he didn't notice, which I don't believe him, but Yeah, no, it has happened. It was the worst. And it was like in the beginning of the match, too. It was not a good time.
Welcome to the squad, dog. Welcome to the squad.
Thank you.
I'm telling you, you ain't wrestled until you shit your pants and then you wrestle. Go ahead.
So, straight up Steve Austin, right? New season.
Mm-hmm.
He was on it the other day and he mentioned about the time he shit his pants.
No way, really?
Yeah, wrestling Yoko.
I gotta check that out.
So it's on there and he's talking about he did something. I think Yoko hit like the bonsai on him or hit something on him. He shit his pants and he looked up and he said, "Let's take it home, Yoke." And he said, "Got you, brah." And when I watched it and I was sitting there and I thought about you, Mike, and I said, Mike needs to see this.
Yeah.
I told Meryl, I said, Mike shit his pants in the ring one time too. She said, he shit his pants in the ring? And then I told her the story about the Rumble when you shit your pants.
Well, you were right there.
I was in it.
But you were there prior to me going out. And I was like, Hunter, I got to go to the bathroom. But we just didn't have time. Because I literally, my number was coming up. It was for a Rumble. And I was like, I got to go to the bathroom. Hunter and I were in the back, and I was like, I got to go to the bathroom, but we just didn't have enough time. And Hunter, you went out like right after me.
Yeah.
And
we were Final Four, and then Andy hit a spine buster.
gave me a goddamn spine buster, motherfucker.
and then we're still going. And then I think me and you eliminated each other, and I just remember after we eliminated each other, I thought we were going to like fight to the back or something like that. Mike was not fighting to the back.
Nah, cool.
Mike immediately walked. He was like, "I'm done."
Cool.
Walked to the back.
Yep. Fab, this is what you have to look forward to with wrestling, to shit your pants. So feel free.
Maybe one day. We'll see.
Speaking of Rumbles.
Yes.
Speaking of Rumble, we got a Rumble coming up this weekend on Sunday.
So excited.
Dom, I'm hoping that I will see you enter into this Rumble.
Me too.
I was telling you and Adam before we started recording, if I could have one match, if they said, if the WWE came to me and said, hey, you can come join one match, that's all you're going to get, that's all we're going to give you, I'd be like, put me in the goddamn Rumble. That's that. For some reason, man, I love the fucking Rumble. That's my favorite pay-per-view. I think it's the most entertaining. But yeah, man. So you might get a chance to be in the Rumble.
Hopefully, yeah, that'd be really cool. I mean, I'd love to be able to get in there, and there's just so many guys in there and so much talent that, like, I mean, I'd love to go pick a fight with someone and then get my ass beat, or have it, or just instantly get speared by Edge, But
Dom gonna get that Spike Dudley elimination. Like the really dangerous one.
Oh, the choke slam out.
The gorilla. I'm waiting for Strowman to gorilla press you, throw you into the Thunderdome. Monitors.
I'm not gonna say no, but I mean I'm a trooper, dog. But I don't know, that would be a scary one.
And what did I tell you? What was my advice to you if you go into the Rumble?
Stay hard cam side.
Yep. Stay in the front of the ring. Get your TV time. You know who I learned that from? His godfather, K-Dog.
One of six.
One of six. Conan. I'm talking about Conan. Conan, okay, if you go back to watching Nitro back during like the NWO years when he was a part of the NWO. So the mic guys for the NWO was like Hogan, Nash, Hall, Bischoff. Nobody else really. Like, it was more just like those were like the core guys on the stick, right?
Yeah.
And I remember always saying Conan was always right there. You'd have Mean Gene, and then you'd have whoever was on whoever for the NWO that was talking on the mic, and then you would have Conan right there, dead center, right next to, like, standing right behind him. And I was listening to his podcast or something, and he intentionally did that. He said, if I can't get the mic, you're going to at least fucking see me. So it was always his plan to stand right there. And you go back and watch those Nitros, he's right there getting his TV time. Hey, man, I get it now. Mm-hmm. I get it now. And I remember always seeing him right there standing behind people. It's sick. Conan. Fucking genius, man.
Dude, he's so smart.
How's he doing?
He's doing good. He's staying quarantined because, I mean, he doesn't want to risk it, He has like some underlying conditions, so like for him it's not worth the risk. So
how much has he been hitting you up a lot lately now that you've debuted and all that kind of stuff, like watching matches? Have you been like reaching out to him being like, yo, watch this match?
Yeah, well, I mean, because he does his podcast, so he doesn't have to, but he does. Mm-hmm. He watches every show, and he hits me up. He'll let me know if like if I'm doing good, or like when I did commentary last week, and he'll give me my constructive criticism, and he's a brilliant in this business, so I take his word as it is. So I try to do that, and same with Disco. Disco's really smart, and I listen to their feedback. Like a couple weeks ago, he was saying that I walked out there looking like a little kid with like jeans and a t-shirt. He's like, nah, he's like, you gotta look fly. So like the next week I started dressing out like that pink polo I had, that was a Versace turtleneck. So like, and he was always talking about it. So I take their feedback, and I try to apply it as best as I can.
I forgot about that. We brought that up a few weeks ago after you wore it. Gangster as fuck, dog.
Appreciate it.
Got a reaction. Randy Orton was tweeting about it.
Dude.
Yeah.
You got to make noise like that.
You get ribbed at all backstage? About it?
Yeah, by my brother-in-law Murphy. So he motherfucker came up to me and he goes, you gonna wear that? And I was like, what are you talking about? And he's like, you gonna wear that out to TV? Because he knew he had a match that night, and I was like, yeah. He goes, well, he's like, you better change because I got a match. And he's like, I don't want you looking like that. I was like, shut up, dude. I was like, this is Versace. He's like, what's that? He's Australian, so I don't blame him.
God, I was just gonna say something real quick about that too. But yeah, I thought it was. I saw you. I don't know if I watched the episode, but I saw somebody post like
I think I texted it to you after he.
And
I was like, look at this shirt.
I was like, good. Make noise, dude. Make fucking noise any way you can. By the way, oh yeah, so the family got in on the storyline, and I told you this. I was like, watch, your sister is gonna get brought into the storyline. Vinnie Mac is gonna see money. How'd that come about?
So like it came about like how I came about. I kind of just like started traveling with my dad to help him out, and they were like, hey, we want Dom on TV. So my sister came out one day. So actually, after my debut, she was on the phone. I was talking to her, and it was for the 24 that they did.
Yeah, yep.
On me and Mandy and Sonia, and they loved that we were able to like, because everyone was there except her, so they wanted to bring her in. So when me and my dad had a tag and we won, they were there. They just wanted a whole family thing. Yeah. So then all of a sudden it just turned into this whole thing where we're all beating the shit out of Murphy, and then he's now accepted into the family, and like, but I mean,
you jumped him in.
Yeah, we were. Yeah, he was
straight gangster.
But yeah, I mean, we kind of just rolled with it, and I mean, it was kind of fun. Like once Murphy joined the gang, like it was like another player in there. Just we were all having a blast.
Yeah, and that's when it comes to like having like a faction or anything like that. It really helps if you're with people that you mesh with.
Yeah.
Because I remember when I was up at WCWC, I was part of a group called the Wrecking Crew, and it was myself, a guy named the Grappler, but he was like the Grappler 3, and a guy named Jeremy, and the Bonus Boys. And I loved whenever we had to do like promos in the back together, because we would just vibe off each other.
Yeah.
And like it helps out. But then they changed the group a little bit, and it was still cool. But that was like the group that I was like, we're meshing good. But all things got to come to an end.
We talked about it before, outside of this. But your mom, what does she think about being a part of it?
I mean, Mama kind of just rolls with the punches as well. She's a trooper. But she didn't want to do it anymore because she hates traveling.
Yeah.
She hated it.
And that west to east coast traveling fun, man. And that you're doing that like what, weekly?
Weekly.
Yeah.
Dude, it's one thing if it's like you're going to like Phoenix for like a show, but like you're every week you're going to Orlando or Tampa.
Yeah.
It's an 6-hour flight.
Especially with all the shit that was going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Quarantine, having to do tests and wearing a goddamn mask. Dude, the mask, like, the flights are pretty awesome because, like, these flights are empty. But you got to wear a mask on your face the whole time. And I think the longest my wife and I went to Chicago, so you had to wear a mask the whole time. And that's like, what, 4 or 5 hours? Flying all the way to Florida, that's like a little bit longer.
Well, it's normally a 5-hour flight, but there is no directs to Orlando and or Tampa.
Really?
Well, to Orlando, we would get some occasionally on Alaska, and it would be like a direct 5-hour, and those were beautiful. I would dream of those. But usually we would connect in either Dallas or Atlanta.
Yeah, dude.
Atlanta's the central hub. You got to go through Atlanta to get to heaven, apparently.
Oh, really?
That's what they always say, because it's like one of the biggest airports in the world.
Yeah,
so,
it's a hub.
yeah.
Did not
Huge.
know that.
There was one time to get back with your mom being a part of the storyline. I remember one night we were watching, and Meryl happened to be watching it there with me, and I think it was the one where your mom like came out after they were like laying the wood to you out there, and she came out and she just looked like super pissed off, and Meryl kind of looked off to the side. She said she is one pissed off Hispanic woman.
Was it the SummerSlam match?
I think it was the SummerSlam match. It was the one where like she just walked out and you just see like in her face, very good. I'm pretty sure she was legit pissed off.
That was her, yeah.
Yeah, and Meryl just kind of leaned over to me and she said, she looks really, really pissed off right now.
You didn't get an easy introduction into the wrestling world, man. You got kendo sticked up,
Yeah.
like multiple times.
36 to be exact.
Damn. You know how many kendo sticks I've taken? None.
What?
I got creative control over my career, dog.
How many hugs from Vince McMahon have you gotten?
Say it again.
How many hugs from Vince McMahon have you gotten?
None. I got a weird look from him one time.
Dom, how many hugs at Vince McMahon have you gotten?
That's a 1 for me. Actually, one that I remember. I'm sure there's a couple when I was a kid that I'm sure I hugged them, but that I remember as an adult, 1.
By the way, so now that you've got some matches under your belt, coming back through the curtain after your match, I've heard there's 2 Vinces. There's the Vince that'll just give you the thumbs up, and that's like, hey, you had a good match. And then there's a Vince that will drop his glasses and then wait and wave his finger like, hey, come on over here, I got to talk to you. Mm-hmm. Is that correct?
I mean, I've I've experienced both, I think. So the SummerSlam match after I came back, it was like everyone was clapping and stuff. So like, and that was an emotional night. But I think I don't remember which match I had, but it was one where I was working Seth, or I think it was Murphy, and I just came out like my entrance was very bland, and I walk back in through Gorilla and I see Johnny Ace, and Johnny Ace was just like, hey, next week we got to work on your entrance, and I was like, okay, cool. And I knew it sucked. Like I didn't do shit.
You know what? They don't teach you this shit in school. Really.
No. I had no clue. Like
it's something you got to kind of like learn like on the fly.
Yeah, and it's like out of your comfort zone too, because you're not like I'm not out there going like showboating and stuff. And like Vince didn't have his glasses on, but he kind of gave me, after every match I go and say thank you no matter what. So I went over there and he kind of just like pulled me aside and I sat down and he's like, you need more fire in your entrance. And I was like, okay. I was like, I gotta work on it. So then that's when I came here and I asked Benny and I asked Gita, and we worked on it a little bit, and then went back and I did I had a tag match with Umberto, and then I practiced my entrance there too, so it worked out.
That's the crazy thing is like you're very humble. You're very you're not like how can I say it? You're like a humble guy, right? You're not like.
I mean, I try to be.
Which it's a good thing. It's a good thing. So when you ask somebody who's kind of you're kind of a low key kind of person, like even at the school here, you're not like, like, hey, look at me, right? You're kind of, hey, you're here to learn, right?
Yeah.
So when it's time to walk out in front of a crowd for the first time, you're like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. You're a deer in headlights.
Fucking scared to death.
Yeah,
100%.
And then you got to learn how to just kind of turn that off. And I always tell students, don't be afraid to be an asshole. And what that means is don't be like a real asshole, but when you're coming out of the curtain and you're like, yeah, let's go, come on. You're like, I feel like an asshole doing this, but it's like, yeah, but that's what the crowd came to see you do. Mm-hmm. They came to be entertained. And guess what? You're on right now. Go fucking entertain the crowd. And you got to just kind of go out there and just start throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, Hunter, you're kind of the same way. You're not like a hyper guy or something like that. You're pretty mellow dude. But now you got to hit the curtains, and you got to be Hunter Freeman.
Shit's real when the music hits. And, yeah. It's funny. Yeah. Like a lot of people pick it. It's always like you get that psych up music, you know, and that's legit. Like I think I was telling the guys this weekend when we were here. I'm like, when your music hits, it should literally pump you up, and mine does. Like when my music hits, and before I go out, like as I say, I'm Hunter Freeman, but when I become Hunter Freeman the wrestler, you turn yourself up to 11, and that's what you should be. You should be hyped up, and you're that person until you walk back through that curtain.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's rough. I'm not gonna lie. My debut match, same way, dude. During the headlights.
Don't know what to do.
I don't know
what I do with my
fucking-
hands. I don't know what to do with my hands.
Do I go out? I think what I did was I went out and I raised my hand and I ran to the ring. I'm pretty sure I think that's all I did. Scared to death, you know. But after a while, you know, after 8 years doing this now, I finally have, like, I think found my niche. And I still to this day don't. Again, like me and Mike talk about it all the time. We halfway don't know what the hell we're doing half the time. But people know that when I go out to the ring, I want people to be behind me. Mike, when he goes out to the ring, he wants people to fucking hate him.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you know. So that's what we try to hone when we are doing our entrances. You know what I mean? Same thing. You guys agree, Shaw?
Shaw, tell me about your learning how to be entertaining on your entrance.
So there's a reason why my first like year and a half I had a mask on, because like I just was like I'd smile the whole time even though I was a bad guy. So I was like, well, cover my mouth. But when I started transitioning to Sweet Robin Shaw, I was like, what can I just do the most obnoxious possible thing? And I'd always try to like match whoever my opponent was. So like the first time I wrestled Hunter, I came out to Old Town Road and bought a tiny little glittery cowboy hat just to be the most obnoxious prick possible. And it would help me just like amp up myself and get me into character. And that's just like I said, it's yourself turned up, and obnoxious asshole works for me. So
Yeah. Hey, Sexy Fab. Here's a kid. I'm not gonna lie to you. This kid honed his entrance before he even debuted. I'm telling you.
I saw it.
Did you? Oh, that's right. Yeah. You did. Fab, you just debuted. What? 2 months ago?
October 30th.
October. Okay, so a little while ago.
Yeah.
But you can't. I mean, you've already got a very good entrance.
Thank
you know, your character is Sexy Fab. So, what do you think Sexy Fab does?
I'm still trying to figure that out. I'm still just like throwing shit on the wall, seeing what sticks.
But you know what? You sexy as a motherfucker.
Thank you.
That's what Sexy Fab does. If anybody says, what does Sexy Fab do? He goes, sexy as a motherfucker. There you go. That's it. But you come out, you got your dance going on. And actually, it's funny because it's very Pee Ray-ish. Yeah. And I don't think you intentionally did that.
No.
But, you know, you and I just had a match this past Sunday.
Yep.
You can watch that on IWTV.com
February.
about next month. And I was like, this kid looks like fucking Peter and Ray meshed together. And it's great, man. It's great. Believe me, you started a lot better than me. I still don't even know how to do my goddamn entrance. I just walk out and I fucking yell.
I mean, if you
like an idiot.
If you see my debut compared to like the entrances now, it's a whole lot different. Because compared to my debut, I couldn't even look at the camera. Like I just had my eyes staring at the sky, and you could just see me skip at the ring pretty much the whole time. That's how nervous I was that night.
Hey, we were all there at one time, dude. All there at one time. Here's here's the crazy thing. You've never wrestled in front of actual fans.
No.
Now, prior to debuting, you did runouts. You got involved with your dad's matches, and that was in front of a crowd.
Yeah.
But since you've actually debuted, you haven't wrestled in front of like an actual like paying fans. Am I correct on that?
Correct.
That's weird.
Yeah.
And also, that doesn't help when your entrance, because you don't get to feed off that vibe of the crowd.
Honestly, I'm excited because like I feel like a different version of me will come out when there's fans there, and I feel that different kind of energy. It's just gonna be a whole different thing because I'm already like I can tell now, like in my entrance that I just did on my match on Friday, I still look awkward as fuck. I have the video on Twitter. I liked it because I can just tell. I do my shit, go side to side, and then once I hit the middle, I don't know what the fuck to do. So I'm standing there and I'm like, I kind of bounce back and forth, and then I shake my hands, and then I start making my way down, and then I realize that I'm still not doing shit. So I take off my hood and I'm figuring it out. But like I'm pretty excited to like have fans out there so I can like, you know, vibe off of them.
You know, it'd be sick if just on the spot you're like, I don't know what to do, and you just fucking bust out the HBK pose.
Oh,
that'd be so sick, dude. Like,
It'd be good.
And then they're like in the back, they're like, what were you doing? You're like, I didn't know what else to do.
I froze. That's what I thought about.
Actually, you want to know what I started doing? I started lip singing my song to the camera. That's
There you go.
It's fucking. I didn't know what else to do, so I was just like, "Here we
But the
go."
craziest thing is the first time you might wrestle in front of fans might be WrestleMania.
That
if
that
you're
is
in
crazy.
WrestleMania,
If I am
think
in
about
Mania,
that.
yeah.
So they're holding it in Tampa this year.
Yeah.
We're, by the way, Tampa having a fantastic beginning of
year.
2021.
Wow.
Tom Brady, what a guy.
Let's talk about that real quick.
Yeah.
Did you guys watch any of the?
What was that, Shaw?
Greatest of all time.
Shaw's a Brady guy,
Shaw is a Brady guy.
and the Super Bowl this year is going to be the Bucks and the Chiefs
In Tampa.
In Tampa.
First time ever.
Dude, I'm telling you, Tom Brady has to be the greatest quarterback of all time.
My favorite meme online is a meme that just said Tom Brady literally just went over to the teams like, "Hey, do you guys want to go to the Super Bowl?"
Yeah.
And that was what he did.
That's crazy.
He's like, "Yeah, let's go."
This motherfucker, Tom Brady, has been to the Super Bowl 10 times.
He has like 17 more playoff wins than like the next quarterback. He's 33 playoff wins.
That's amazing. That's amazing. The numbers don't lie, people. The numbers don't
Good.
lie.
And I say this because I know a lot of people are just like, oh, fuck Tom Brady. You know, there are all those people out there. But you're right, Mike. You have to admit, the dude is fucking good.
You're witnessing greatness.
Yeah.
the
You're
dude's
watching
good, man.
history, literally.
I got to also think, like, I understand, like, the hate for Tom Brady is just because he's fucking good, right? Like, you don't hear anything bad about him, like, in his private life. Has there ever been,
There
like,
was a little bit of thing last
When
year
you
where
make
there was a
out with
MAGA
his
hat
kids.
in his locker, and people tried to. And then this weekend, people tried to do something with him, but
They had
not
the-
really.
They
It's-
had the ball deflation thing too. A couple years
yeah,
ago,
that's
right?
that's true.
I get the fuck
That's a
outta
whole
here.
Patriots thing.
And the
that's
thing
the
with
big
his
deal.
kids too.
Where's
Where
the kids?
You didn't hear about that? Everyone was like weirded out by him like still kissing his like kids in the mouth.
I don't know how old are the kids.
I have no clue.
It's kind of weird, like, at a
he was
certain
like
age.
10, I think.
Yeah, he was like 10, but like a lot of people were going over the line saying that he was like making out with his son. But like
get the
that's
fuck outta here.
that's ridiculous. That's your
Yeah.
dad.
My kid pissed on me earlier today. I mean, is that over the line?
I mean, your kid's also what 3 months old, 2 months old.
Oh, a little bit over a month.
Yeah, see,
Yeah. You know.
My niece, when she was a baby, my mom took my niece and my nephew to SeaWorld, and I got pissed on in the Arctic zone.
nice.
Yeah.
Really?
Got pissed on. Yeah, I was holding my niece, and next thing you know, I'm just like, just piss all over my shirt, and I'm like, God damn it, dude! I had no change of shirt, so I just had to tough it out, man. It's baby piss.
Yeah,
It is what it is, man. But yeah, man, what else is going on? Is there any wrestling news going on? What's the big news in wrestling, Adam?
I think it's Sasha's birthday today.
Sasha Banks.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
I'm sure she's listening right now.
Yeah, of course.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening to the show, Sasha. Please retweet.
Please.
I can't even think of what the big thing would be.
You know what was a huge thing on Twitter that obviously every day in the Twitter world, or actually the wrestling world, there's got to be a new controversy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see the thing with Taker about his Rogan appearance?
Oh, that would probably be the biggest thing I would have said. We
I
could.
thought that was very interesting.
I haven't listened to it yet, so I don't know. What's the deal?
So
Enlighten me.
he said something about how wrestling back in the day, the locker room, you had a bunch of badasses. You had a bunch of guys with knives and guns in their bags.
He's true.
Just tough motherfuckers.
This is true.
And then nowadays, the locker room, you got guys like playing video games, and he says like they're more worried about their look. And he said he preferred how it used to be. And
I believe
he
he
caught
used
a
the
lot
term
of shit.
soft as well to
Well,
describe the
He said
people.
the product
It's soft.
is soft.
Yeah.
He didn't say the people in the back were soft. He said the product was
Yeah.
soft. Now, look at the Attitude Era.
Mm-hmm.
Look at how the wrestling used to be back in the day, compared to nowadays. The product, you know, it is a little bit. It is softer. But the thing is, it's because the business has changed. Vinnie Mac has investors. He's right. The WWE is openly traded.
Yeah.
So he has to make sure investors are good, sponsorships are good, all that kind of stuff. You gotta run a tight ship, Whereas back in the day, it was all Vinnie Mac. It was his money. If they lost viewers, if they lost attendance, it was all on him. It was his gamble. I don't know. I thought it was very interesting that Taker got such a heat for just saying like, "Hey, man, I prefer back in the day." Listen, if you were to ask me, hey, would you rather go to high school nowadays or back when I was in high school? I say I loved high school back when I was a kid. Take me back to those days.
Yeah, you're never gonna look back and say, man, I wish I was doing that thing now. Like, you know, like with high school or with wrestling, like Taker preferred it the way it was when he was wrestling. Like,
Yeah.
when he comes back, he probably doesn't feel as welcomed as he did back in the 90s. You know what I mean?
Well, it's just also it's a different scene.
Yeah.
He didn't grow up around video games and stuff like
Yeah.
that. By the way, you guys gotta listen to his Joe Rogan podcast. Very good.
Yeah, I listened to it.
Did you?
It's really good.
Motherfucker had to walk through fire to get a chance to be a wrestler. He got like conned by like Buzz Sawyer. Like he had to like
Took his dogs though.
took his dogs though. Took his dog.
Shit.
He had to take out a loan for $2,000, give it to Buzz Sawyer
Sold all his shit to do so.
to train. Got stretched for a few months. Didn't learn any pro wrestling. Just got stretched. And boy, by the way, if anybody doesn't know who Buzz Sawyer is a badass. Capital letters. And then Buzz Sawyer faved him, took off, without telling him like, hey, you know, just Taker showed up one day and was like, like, hey, Buzz, and Buzz wasn't there. So then he went and sat at the Von Erich's office in Dallas for 8 months every Wednesday, just trying to get a face-to-face to get on.
Shit.
Now, I'm going to look around this room. Did anybody go through that much shit to become a professional wrestler? No. I walked in and I said, hi, I want to be a wrestler. And they said, cool, $100 a month and we'll teach you.
Yep.
That's it. That's it, man. You got to give it up to the Mole Cats. They went through hell to try and get in the business. You know, like your dad, I'm sure, has seen some shit.
Yeah.
You know, like even though like he was born into the business, I'm sure he still had to pay some fucking dues.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure he told me that my uncle gave him his first chop when he was 9, and he started crying.
I would too.
He started crying, and then my uncle said, "Go sit down. He's not ready." And then my dad like kind of toughed it out.
Sometimes I want to cry nowadays.
Yeah, no,
when I take a chop.
100%. But
It was you see a lot like when I was over in Japan. Now that was pretty intense over there. Now it's not like the New Japan dojo or anything like that where I was training at, but they were still very traditional in the way they train over there. They wouldn't say like shun me or anything like that when I started training there, but it was one of those where it was like you're gonna pay your dues.
Yeah.
You're gonna learn our way. Now I agree that's rough. I couldn't imagine going through what Taker went through 100%. And have you guys seen it's out there the Paul Bearer documentary that's on the network?
I have not.
I haven't.
It's really good. But they talk about when they put Paul Bearer with the Undertaker when he first debuted under the mask. It was at I think it was at the Texas where the Von Erichs,
Because he started with Dude Love, right?
Who's that?
Taker.
Brother love.
Brother Love?
Yeah.
Brother Love.
This is
That's what
before
I said.
this is
Dude
before
Love.
That's your
Mick
boss,
Foley.
man. Come
yeah.
on.
This is before he went to the Fed, but it was one of those where he was in his first match and Taker was under a mask. I think he was some gimmick. I don't know, just black tight, maybe the Executioner or something like that. Yeah, but literally, Paul Bearer went out there as Percy Pringle. Just went out there, got up on the apron, started massaging Taker's shoulders, and they're like, he told him, he said, "I'm with you tonight, kid," and that's when they first met. And it was just one of those, just like, I feel like Paul Bearer helped out Taker a lot.
Oh hell yeah.
A lot. And,
Hell yeah.
And that dude, and he says it in that documentary too, how much credit he gives for the Undertaker being so over. A lot of it goes to Paul Bearer.
Dude, you
know?
can't think about Undertaker without Paul Bearer.
You can't.
Like they were peas and carrots.
Yeah.
You couldn't have picked two better people to fit those roles.
Mm-hmm.
You know, God, Paul Bearer was so good too, man. The guy could act his fucking ass off.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So, but he lived the gimmick. He was a legit
Yeah.
mortician, you know.
Yeah.
But talking about the podcast, talking about, you know, like how back in the day you had all the tough guys. You got, like you said, think about the era that they're in. But you got to also think about all the roughnecks that were back there. You know, mentioned guys like Haku and Harley Race and all the you know, Buzz Sawyer, Dick Slater, all those guys. Like, there's no way in hell you would be caught dead. Like, all those guys were back there playing cards, probably.
Yeah.
You know, I hear playing poker, or
Smoking
something like that.
cigars.
Smoking cigars, and that's the difference that you see now.
Having
you know?
an old fashioned.
But like you go to shows now and you see guys who are like getting a full legit workout in before they go out and they hit the ring. Where probably back then in the day, you had guys in there that were playing poker, smoking cigars, drinking beers, and they're like, "All right, you two are next. Go on ahead and go out there and
Call it in the ring,
call
brother.
it in the ring." You know, and
What's
that's
the finish?
Yeah, and that's the difference. These guys were just like, "Yeah, we're gonna go out there and just beat the hell out of one another and come back and finish our game." You know?
Yeah, it was pretty interesting. I actually know I equate it to remember elementary school. You had that game Telephone,
Oh yeah.
which if anybody doesn't know it, you start at one side of the class, you line the kids up. The first kid gets the message, he passes it along, and then hopefully by the last kid that you have the same message, but you won't.
I was the dickhead that always ruined it.
Exactly. You always had the one motherfucker. But that's kind of how I equate. Like, you hear this one statement from this, almost 3-hour podcast, and it's like, hey, man, times were different back then, a lot harder, dudes in the back, guns, knives. Didn't say anything about using them. Just said, like, yeah, there's probably guns and knives in the bags, and all that kind of stuff. And then, like, immediately somebody goes, well, they all died of painkillers, and you're an advocate for violence and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, no, he didn't say that. He just said it's a different scene.
Well, that's wrestling news sites now. Like, people have been looking for something to jump on him about because of the shirts he wears in his documentaries, the Blue Lives Matter shirts.
Yeah.
They've been looking for shit to get him on. So, like, he says one thing, and then like, oh, let's take this and put this, and now everyone thinks that's what he said, unless you actually sit there and listen to it, and then you're like, oh, he didn't say that.
I listened to damn near the whole podcast, and he never said.
But how many people are actually going to take the time to actually sit down and listen, or they're just going to read the clickbait and go, yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah.
And now they don't like him.
Yeah.
It's
I mean,
stupid.
you look at the guy. The guy did it for over 30 years. Came up the hard way. Like, give the guy a little bit of credit, man. Like, I understand if you don't like his political views and all that kind of stuff. Like, I get it, but I don't think he's actively out there like
Rubbing it in people's face.
exactly,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
He's like, hey, listen, if you can have your political views, that's fine. Like, whatever he believes on his personal time, that's his thing. I care about Taker in the ring, performance-wise, for 30 plus years, entertained the shit out of me. Love the guy.
Yep.
Love the guy. He's one of the best. You talked to him in the back?
No, but I never really got to see him because he was always in his locker room, or I just wouldn't be around. But when my dad would say hi to him, I'd go and say hi to him, very casual.
Yeah.
But his wife Michelle, she was always really close to like my sister and stuff, because like back in the day when Aaliyah would travel, my dad would kind of just like throw her in the women's locker room, and Aaliyah would just hang out with all the I guess divas back then.
Yep.
Now it'd be women's wrestlers.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Michelle was like super close to all of us, and like yeah, she's awesome. I love Taker too.
Dude, the guy, incredible career. Incredible career.
Gotta give credit where credit is due.
Yep.
The way I look at it, if anybody has a problem with it, talk to him. See how it turns out. That's all I gotta say. Just go and talk to him.
Let's we had a lot of questions.
We do.
We got some questions. Hunter put the word out, put the bat signal out.
I did.
All of a sudden, questions come flooding in. Let's take some questions.
So we're going to start with Hunter's questions, or
I don't give a damn. Just
All
start ripping them out, dog.
Sure. I'll start with ours.
We can all answer it.
There's some that are like for you, and then there's some
Oh,
that
shit,
are
really?
like we can all chime in. Yeah.
I'd be damn.
All right, let's see. Let's go back.
Damn.
All right, so the first question is from Fao. He asks, when was the last time you felt you had a new lease on life?
It's deep.
Yeah, that's a deep one. New lease. Tell you the truth, and actually, I've actually had this discussion with I forgot somebody recently who quit a job. It's scary quitting jobs. Like leaving a job on your own to go pursue something else, right? So when I first got into wrestling, I was working at Nordstrom, and obviously that's retail time. So I'm constantly working the weekends. I'm working night shifts and all that kind of stuff. I would get calls being like, "Hey, can you make this date? Hey, can you go do this?" And I'd have to cancel these opportunities because I had to work, right? And I was like, had all the benefits. I had good pay, all this stuff. It's a pretty solid company to be with. And eventually I left. Just because at one point I was like, I can't do this anymore. I'm just, I'm not going to go any further with this company because I don't want to move up. So I left, and it took a couple of years to get everything back on track. And actually now I'm doing better. I work for myself. I make my own schedule, and I have more say on my time, right? So it was scary, to leave a good paying job and all that kind of stuff to go into the unknown. But you know what? When your back is up against the wall, that's when you find out what you're made of, right? And you take that across the board in any situation. So yeah, that's about it, man. It's about me. How about you, Hunter?
Well, it was pretty crazy for me when I got out the Marine Corps. I didn't know what I was going to do, because I stayed out here, and it's one of those things when you get out the Marine Corps, it's either, okay, you can stay here or we can move you back home. And I stayed here. I took a freaking huge gamble, stayed out here because I wanted to be a wrestler, stayed out here, and I was scared to death because I didn't have a job. Wrestling wasn't like kicking off for me, you know what I mean? I was working like month to month, like maybe every other weekend,
Mm-hmm.
And of course, like a lot of people know this, like I came up to you and I said, hey, like I just got out, I need a job. And I think that's one reason why me and Mike are so close is, Mike's wife, she hooked me up with a job bouncing at a bar, and that really helped out a lot. But I've been blessed to be able to stay out here in San Diego and to be able to train out here. And I think wholeheartedly, man, a new lease on life for me was, when I made better decisions for my wrestling career. And another one is just, man, when PJ was born, dude, fucking life changer.
Dad mode kicked in.
Yeah, dad mode kicked in, and it's just like it wasn't one of those where it's like
Dad bod too.
Fuck you. Hey, I've been doing DDP yoga, dog. All right, chill out. So it's one of those where you kind of have to. One day I was sitting there and holding him, not to get like too friggin' like emotional about it or anything like that, but I was sitting there holding him one day, and I just was looking at him, and it was just one of those where like something like a switch was flipped. I'm just like, I got to make something happen in this wrestling, because I want you to have a good life, and I don't want you to think that your dad's a failure or anything like that. And it was New Year's. If you guys see my Facebook or my Instagram, my tweets, different things like that, I legit tweeted out my manifestation for this year. And it was just, I want to be a better father, a better husband, a better wrestler. I want to work for as many indie promotions as I can. I want to work for as many big companies as I can. I want to take advantage of every opportunity that's given to me. And it all happened when little PJ was born. It's just like I want to make everything possible for him, for me, for my whole family. So yeah,
it's good. How about you, Shaw?
I actually have a really good answer for new lease on life. So 5 years ago, I had the gastric sleeve surgery.
Okay.
So
that's the stomach stapling kind of thing, right?
Yeah, the weight loss surgery. Prior to that, I was 450 pounds, and I could barely walk down the street.
Damn.
Yeah, no, when I see old pictures, I still don't believe it. So after I had the surgery, after like a year or two, I got down to about 290, which is still big, but like going from not being able to walk a block to now I'm a professional wrestler, like
hell yeah.
That is the most like eye-opening. Like I still kind of get flashbacks, and like I have a totally different perspective on life than I think a lot of other people, because I literally was like, I hate to use that word, but like I was like crippled. Like
yeah,
it's a completely different way of
450
thinking
pounds is a lot of weight to be carrying around, man.
Yeah,
that is a lot. Yeah, and I've heard you mention about the surgery. I never really asked you about it. I think you kind of like hinted, and I was like, oh, okay. I think he's talking about the gastric bypass, whatever the thing was. And to think about
the bypass is the more excessive one. I got the middle one.
Okay.
Yeah.
But hearing about like you were 450 at one time, and then like seeing you in the ring now, I'm like, holy fuck, man, that's a serious like story. Oh, yeah. Like that's nuts, dude.
I wouldn't have believed you.
I can show you pictures. It's not good. Literally, I was talking about it last week when I went to WrestleMania 31. I got the surgery like 6 months after that, and we parked maybe like 4 or 5 blocks away, and it took me like an hour just to get to my seat because I had to stop so much because I kept just like dying. So yeah, it's Totally different world.
Can I ask you a question real fast? So you got the surgery done. Mm-hmm. What was there a certain point where you're like, I got to do this?
So I've been thinking about it pretty much since I turned 18 when it became an option, basically. But when I was 18, I wasn't that heavy yet. I was actually probably about the same weight I am now. And then it just kept getting worse and worse and worse. And my mom was the one that kept pushing for it. She's like, you should do this while you still have my insurance. And I was like, oh yeah, whatever. And then one day I used to go to Disneyland with my ex-girlfriend all the time and tried to go on Space Mountain, and I didn't fit.
Oh, wow.
And that was like, okay, that was the eye opener. All right, it's time to do this, you know. Not to mention, I mean, walking around Disneyland at 450 pounds was a nightmare in and of itself. But like I always say that like that was the turning point of like, all right, I'm gonna go to my doctor and then get the surgery referral. And then it took about a year of like paperwork and appointments. I had to get an EKG. I had to get an ultrasound on my legs. Like there's a lot of weird stuff, a psychological evaluation, like all that stuff, just to make sure that I was like mentally prepared to do it.
Damn, I didn't know all that wouldn't do it.
Oh yeah. So I actually had it easier than a lot of other people. I know a lot of other people had to take like a class for like 6 months because they don't want the insurance company doesn't want you to get the surgery and then gain it all back.
Yeah.
I mean, I gained quite a bit of it back, unfortunately, but I'm still way better than I was. You know.
That's good to hear, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
I will say this, and Mike will agree with me on this. For you to come as far as you have from that, and you said it the other day, I would work with you any day of the week, twice on Sunday.
There you go.
In the ring, 100%. So you should be 100% proud of yourself, dude.
Yeah.
I wish I could work with you. I mean, I could train with you.
Well,
And
I mean, maybe one day, probably not. I'd have to do a lot more shoulders. I literally was just saying it in training today. I'm like, I would just need to like inject steroids into my shoulders and just lift weights a bunch, and then suddenly I'll turn into Otis, and then maybe they'll sign me.
There you go.
Maybe.
There you go. Fab, tell me, man, you got any new leases on life, anything like that? Anything change your life?
Probably just my journey to get to wrestling.
That's cool.
It's kind of it's an emotional story, actually.
Go ahead. Hit me with it.
Not a lot of people know the real me, just because I keep quiet. So only close personal friends really know like my situation. So back in 2018, my little cousin, she actually went to Eastlake High School, and she graduated in June. Like maybe a month later, we get the call that she was killed in a hit and run.
Ugh.
So just, it's different when you have to experience it rather than seeing it in the news, you know. Seeing it in the news is just like, you know, you feel sorry, but then once it happens to you, it's like, holy shit, like, you're never going to see her again.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much like after that happened, I was working 2 jobs. I was working at a warehouse called Pull Tarps in El Cajon, and I was also doing ballet, which I still do. And I just wasn't happy. So, and there was like some situation with a worker at the warehouse where I just needed to leave before I did something stupid to him.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I was working with my dad. I told him like, hey, I gotta leave because I can't deal with this bullshit anymore. So I left that job, started working more hours at the valet job. And one morning, like in 2019, I think like in March, driving back home in the morning, and I just talked to myself. I'm telling myself, like, what are you going to do? Like, you can't just work ballet for the rest of your life. So just that story of what happened to my cousin and me not finding a way in life, just, it clicked in my head that if she couldn't live her life, you know, to the fullest, what's stopping me?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I wasn't as big as Robin Shaw, but I was still pretty heavy. Pretty hefty.
I remember when you first walked into the doors.
Yeah, I do too. Yep.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, it literally took me like maybe a week or 2 to get my first front roll.
Dude, I'm telling you, Fab is one of these success stories of Level Up Pro Wrestling School, because there was times when a lot of us here, the trainers, we were just like, all right, Fab's going to take some work. But you know what? Dude put in the work. I'll give you that.
Hell yeah.
You kept showing back up.
Yes.
And you'd be surprised how many people don't. People that were more athletic than you, more naturally gifted than you, they stopped showing up.
Yep.
Yeah, I've seen them come and go with my own eyes.
And that's the story of wrestling schools, man. That's the
it.
story. I tell this story, right? I tell this to kids all the time in the group setting of the school. Some of you ain't going to be here next month.
Yep.
Somebody ain't gonna be here in 3 months. Somebody ain't gonna be here in 6 months. And it's not to be a dick. It's just to say, some of you ain't gonna be here. Some of you are though. Some of you, you'd be surprised how many people come through the school and they slowly start to vanish, but yet there's the few that consistently show up. And those are the people that I respect. The cats that come in naturally gifted, it's like, okay, cool, that's cool, man. Like, good for you. You're doing well and all that kind of stuff. But them cats that don't have that natural gift, that athleticism, they come in and they got to work their fucking asses off.
Yep.
They get huge respect from me.
Yeah, I knew the drive home when I was thinking to myself, I knew, like, if I made the decision, I knew I'd have to work twice as hard as the next guy that's in there. So if it wasn't for that and the support of my family, I think I would have quit, like, first day, honestly, because that first day just really killed me.
I remember the first day. Your family was at your debut. They were very, very supportive. I remember it was when you hit the curtain. I mean, my God, I think La Mesa heard your family. but I remember I never really asked you about it or anything like that. But I remember you had it on your wrist tape. Was that your?
Yeah, that was a tribute to my little cousin.
Your little cousin?
That's awesome.
That's cool, man.
That's cool.
Really cool.
You'd be surprised how many people are scared to pursue their dreams.
Yeah, 100%.
A lot of people are scared to do that. And I've talked to a lot of people that, like, they hear about me wrestling and they go, oh, man, I've always wanted to do this, something in the entertainment business or, music or anything like that. And I go, you just got to do it. You got to go for it. If you don't, you never will.
You just wanted one match.
I just wanted one match.
I just needed an escape from what I was dealing with at the time.
Yeah,
that was it.
It doesn't have to be a huge dream like, oh, I want to be WWE champion. It just means all you need to drive you is one goal, and it could be as simple as I just want to do one match.
Yeah, that was my main goal when I first walked in. I was like, I just need one match. That's
there you
it.
Go.
I need to prove people wrong.
You're doing good, kid. You're doing good.
Appreciate it.
Oh yeah.
How about you, Dom? What about you, man? Any life changing experiences? New lease on life? Anything like that?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, I guess when it all started, because I fucking hated school.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Everybody hates school.
I love the school environment. I hated the school work.
Exactly.
You love partying in school.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I can't blame you. Who doesn't? But like I always like had in the back of my mind that I wanted to try wrestling, but like my high school didn't like have wrestling, so I never really.
Oh, you're talking about like like the high school team didn't have a.
Really? We had like the main sports like soccer, football, basketball, volleyball.
You went to a Catholic school, right?
Christian school, yeah.
Christian school. Oh, okay, close enough.
Same thing.
Religious.
But sorry, not the same thing.
Whatever.
Whatever.
We'll edit and post.
Yeah,
we'll edit and post.
Oh man, that's gonna get me heat. But yeah. So like. We didn't have like wrestling or something or anything like that. So like I kind of just like played football and soccer and bullshit around. But like when I got to college, I told my dad, I was like, I want to try it out. So that's when I first came to, I forgot what it was even called. I think it was like, it's Ground Zero.
Oh,
it's Level Up.
What was Benny's? Oh, okay. I don't even know what it was called.
Me either. Forget it. But anyways, I started training there for like 6 months. And then I hurt my back. And then once I hurt my back, I was out. I made an excuse that I was out for about maybe a year. So I stopped training for like a year, maybe 10 months or so. And then I got so big. I gained all this weight. I pushed like 260. And then that's when I moved to Tampa, Florida. Trained with Jay Lethal. Had a fucking 9 to 5 working for Nutrition Solutions. Worked my ass off to lose all the weight, came home for 2 months, and then went back out to Calgary. First day in Calgary, it was god awful. not because like the training was amazing, but like the fucking I wasn't used to like all this snow. It was so fucking cold.
Yeah, that's different.
The elevation was ass. Like and Lance, when you first start there, I was 2 weeks late already. So I had all this catching up to do. So they were like, everyone was so used to this circuit that Lance does before we even like go in and bump. It's like a conditioning circuit. I was dead first push-ups. Like I was dragging my ass like all around. Got home and I was like, this sucks. and I couldn't go home because I was in another country.
Yeah.
So like, and I couldn't like, all I did took a fucking hot shower, showered myself after with some Tiger Balm, and then I went to bed and did it all over the next day.
Hell yeah. Hey, man, when you got to power through it, you know, like you got to tough it out, it feels a lot better on the other side, man. You know? So, Adam,
Yes.
what's our, you want to talk about your lease on life?
No, I can't even answer that
No,
question.
no.
My life is so fucking boring. I have nothing.
All right, next question. Here we go.
All right. I don't know if this is some kind of inside joke, but I'm going to read it. It's from SoCal Crazy on Instagram. I would love to know if you both owned Mogwais.
I believe that's Gremlins.
It's a gremlin thing. Would you feed them after midnight?
Of course I would.
And then he just puts snakes in all caps.
SoCal Crazy is my lucha trainer.
Yes.
Hunter also, it's his lucha trainer. I believe the Magwas, I think that's from Gremlins. Would I feed them after midnight? Sure, let's party. Let's have some fun.
Snakes, I think that's a rib on me because he knows I'm petrified of snakes.
Really?
I'm scared to death of them. And my favorite wrestler is Jake the Snake Roberts.
I didn't know that.
Good
right?
to know.
Petrified of snakes, 100%.
Yeah, man. I grew up in Ramona, and there was a bunch of rattlesnakes everywhere. I fucking hate snakes.
Damn that.
What if I told you you could have an AEW trial, but you had to have a snake thrown at the end?
I'd probably do it, but I would fucking hate it. I'd hate it. That's you know what? Hey, shout out to SoCal Crazy, 100%. Good dude.
Yeah, actually, I've been messaged with him. I want to try and get him in here on Thursday nights to help train lucha.
Be cool
because he is very good at he's a very good trainer of,
Yeah.
of lucha, and I'd like to get him in here.
If you could do Wednesdays,
If you could do Wednesdays,
so I could come, that'd be.
Have you ever met him before?
I don't think so. That's why.
Your pops wrestled him.
Really?
It was anniversary show, SoCal Pro's anniversary show, 10-year anniversary.
it was Romero and your dad.
Yeah. Rocky Romero and Ray versus Cholo and SoCal Crazy.
Was it out in?
Oceanside?
Oh no, then that's not.
It was
the one.
Oceanside.
I was on the card.
I was too. I was on it as well. I was in the tag match.
I don't even remember.
Me and your dad hit it off.
I think I said like
Joking, he didn't.
Yeah, I think I might have like shook his hand as he was walking to the ring.
I fist bumped him on his way back to the private room, and then I fist bumped him on the way out to the ring, and then I fist bumped him on the way back from the ring. That's
about
it.
That's about all we got out of him.
That's it, man.
I remember. I think I fist bumped him on his way to the ring, and that was about it. I pretty much let him have his.
Quiet guy.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much.
Very to himself.
Yeah, he's working, man. He's working.
But that's pretty cool. You would like SoCal Crazy. He's a good dude.
Lucha training, man, kicks your fucking ass, dude.
That's how I started.
Ugh,
I didn't even bump for the first 3 months.
kicks your ass. It's very fun though. Once you get the hang of it a little bit, you know, it starts to become a lot of fun. But it'll kick your dick in.
I remember when people used to no-show his days at New Wave, when he trained at New Wave. People would like come every day, and that was the one day they wouldn't come, and it was like, I had work.
Well,
Like, oh, really?
With
That one day.
with SoCal Crazy, you knew his night
He's gonna blow
of
you the fuck
training.
up.
He was going to blow you up.
Yeah.
He's a big cardio guy, and lucha just in general blows you up.
Yeah.
So you're going to be sucking wind, and yeah, a lot of people don't like it. I mean, I used to show up to his classes. It's fun. You know, he's a great trainer, man. He's very mellow. You know, he's not going to yell at you or make you do anything stupid. He's a great guy, man. I love SoCal Crazy.
Shout out SoCal.
SoCal.
All right, the next one is also on Instagram. It's the Big Guy 87. I think this is really only a question for Mike. In this year that you have done the podcast, what episode has been your favorite to record and why? Second question, who has been your favorite guest and why?
You better say me, you asshole. For real.
You as a guest?
If you don't say
am I
me,
technically a
I'm
guest?
leaving.
I'm
now.
saying, wait, but you weren't technically a guest when you were on.
I was on the first episode.
Yeah, but you weren't really a guest. You were more kind of like part of the podcast.
I'm like half a hog.
Yeah. I'll tell you this: our most listened to episodes are Dom's.
Thanks,
so
guys.
you're over.
Appreciate that.
You're over.
And Benny's.
Damn it.
Benny's is a lot of people listen to that one too.
Benny has a good amount of listens. To tell you the truth, one of the best guests is Yuma. Yuma was so good we had to bring him back on.
Yeah.
He had so many stories.
I was there for that.
And the great thing about Yuma is Yuma's not afraid to be the butt of the joke. You know, like, so he's down to make fun of himself, which makes it even greater to have him on because he's down to tell the stories that other people would probably be shy to talk about. And he was like, nah, fuck that. I shit my pants in the ring too. But Yuma, I think was two of my favorite episodes. Who would I like to have on the future? Actually, I had an idea to get D'Lo on for a show, but unfortunately, COVID whipped out his fat cock and said, "Suck it." And so that didn't happen. Actually, I hit you up and you didn't respond to me. I want to get Mysterio on this.
When?
A while ago. It was on your Twitter.
Dude, I
You got a lot of psychos on there.
No, I barely go
Yeah,
on
me
Twitter.
check.
But yeah,
I want to get Mysterio on here.
Yeah, I'll let her know.
And by the way, Mysterio is Aaliyah, his sister. Because I think it'd be funny, like interesting. She hasn't done a podcast.
I don't think she's ever done anything.
And I think people would be interested.
I think she'd ask you what's she gonna get out of it.
Oh, I got to pay her like $25.
I'm just playing. Nah, I'll talk to her though. I'll put in a word.
I think it'd just be fun because I'm sure people are kind of like would like to know, like, hey, how did you get into this wrestling stuff? We know you were born into it, but how did they get you to be part of the? Because she had a huge role these past few months.
Yeah, she did.
So I think that'd be kind of
slapped
fun.
me too. So
She slapped
That's
you?
right. She went upside your head.
yeah.
Did you get a receipt in the back?
No, I told her though. I was like, if you, I was like, that was your one and only chance. I was like, so.
If you ever hit me like that again,
I was like,
swear to God.
Yeah.
Let's see. And actually, somebody that I want on the show that I've been trying to for a while is Bobby Quance. Bobby, for people that don't know who Bobby Quance is the greatest wrestler known to mankind. He hasn't wrestled in probably over 12, 15 years.
Dude, so speaking of his name, I watched a tag match, and it involved B-Boy.
I saw this match.
And it was Bobby Quance, B-Boy. I want to say maybe Super Dragon was involved in it.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ is all I have to say.
Dude, Bobby Quance, when he was younger, is the greatest pro wrestler of all time.
Yeah.
The guy can technically wrestle. He can do all the flips, all the high spots. And I've been in the ring with him. He's come to training multiple times. You get in the ring with him and you go, I shouldn't be a wrestler. I'll never be this good. I don't deserve to be in here with this guy. He's too good. And he's the most like mellow guy. He's the nicest guy in the world. Hasn't had a match, like I said, in over like 12 years. Mm-hmm. But he gets in the ring and he kills it. He'll just be like, oh, let's just have fun. And next thing you know, he's just doing everything perfect. Technically perfect. He's amazing, man. Back in the day, he had almost no chance of getting signed because he's a smaller guy. Back in the day, it was the land of the giants. Nowadays, his ass would be signed to the biggest promotions. They put the belt on him, and yeah, it just timing, unfortunately. But he's amazing. I suggest anybody go look at it, look him up on YouTube. You're talking about great wrestling, a great wrestler. And him, yeah, I've watched that match before. Yeah. Him and Benny. Smooth as hell, man. It's amazing to watch them work together.
And you know, I tell this to Benny a lot, and these guys all know, man. I wish he was here tonight, but for all the people that Benny B-Boy has wrestled, you know, it's like, damn, you know. Like
he's got a list.
And you think about where these guys are at now, and you just like, you know, he's right up there with them too. And I bet if you were to ask these people. You know, like you ask John Moxley, you ask AJ Styles, they would Samoa Joe. You ask these guys, they would be like, when I wrestled B-Boy, that was legit probably one of the funnest matches I've ever had. Dude, probably Bobby the same way, dude.
On last Friday, B-Boy Benny texted me B-Boy, and he told me that he's known Adam Pearce for like 20-something years.
Scrap iron.
So I was there on Friday. I saw Adam, and he like came up to me and he was like, "Hey, I didn't know you trained with B-Boy." And he's like, "Yeah, man." He's like, "I've known B-Boy for like 20-something years. He's like super cool dude. He's like he put him over big time." And then I told Benny about it, and he's like, "Did he bury me?" And I was like, "No." I was like, he said that you guys are like this like awesome. So yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, man. I think that's so. I want to have Bobby on. I'd love to have Julius, aka Judiz, on eventually.
Yeah. Shout out to Judiz.
Just because he's our friend. I watched him come up in the wrestling business.
It was good seeing him the other day. It was.
Yeah, I was so surprised to see him. He showed up for one of our tapings, and I hadn't seen him since.
Well, I
remember we took that group photo.
After
that's the last time I saw him prior to seeing him a couple weeks ago.
I kind of drug him over here. So
good.
His wife and my wife are like close friends, and they came over to the house, and we were doing the taping that day, and I was like, I'm abducting Julius.
Good,
Julius,
man.
I'm abducting him. He's going to watch wrestling.
I'm glad you did.
Because COVID legit like kicked his butt. I'm not going to put the guy's business out there, but I told him, I said, you need to go watch wrestling today. So
There you
I
go.
hope it kind of if you're listening to this, I hope it lit a fire.
And then I don't know, but can we get K-Dog on one day, you think?
I mean,
After COVID?
yeah.
Be like, can you just tell me about the LWO and the NWO and everything?
Was it cool?
Was it? Did you remember?
Do you remember?
Do you remember when you would just stand behind whoever was on the mic? Sick.
He'll either say yes or he'll say, sign up for my Patreon. Boom.
Boom. One thou wow.
One thou wow.
All right, let's move on.
All right. This question is for
Hunter Freeman.
Hunter Freeman. I don't know why I
He
blanked on
just
his fucking name
pointed
right
at
there.
me like everybody can see it.
No,
What's your
no,
name?
I literally forgot your name for a second. I don't know why that happened.
It's okay.
You're
I'm
not
losing
over.
my mind.
I'm not over.
All right, this is from SoCal Gabe. Congratulations on 1 year of the podcast. Looking forward to many more episodes to come. If it isn't already talked about before getting to listener questions, wanted to ask Hunter about his Can Approach street fights. Whose idea were they? Was this an ask for permission or ask for forgiveness scenario? If Hunter has any more street fights in him, is there anyone he wants to have a street fight with? If Hunter could handpick a contender for the Ground Zero Heavyweight Championship, who deserves a shot? It's a lot, I know. I'm sure not the only one who's missed Hunter's hot takes.
Oh,
So
Hunter's
if
hot
anybody
takes.
needs to be caught up to date, Hunter's a hardcore guy now.
Shut up,
He
dude.
does hardcore matches.
He did one with my godfather.
I did.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna talk about that.
206.
2 of 6. Yeah.
206.
Because we already mentioned one.
Ah, yeah. There you
Forget
go.
he got 6.
There you go. There you go. All right, go ahead. Answer the question.
All right. What was
You want me to
question one?
I can go
Yeah,
back
yeah.
through all of them. Just
I
kind
got
of-
bad memory.
Yeah, that's fine. All right, so the first one he asked is, whose idea were the street fights?
Well, I mean, they're technically the promoters. I mean, it's just me just agreeing to them. The Canna Pro shows are ran here in La Mesa, and the promoters over me. I guess he sees like the whole brawler type deal with me, and I don't mind getting in a fight. I don't mind getting hit with shit. I mean,
Yeah.
it is what it is. I don't care.
Is there anyone that you'd like to have a street fight with that you haven't yet?
Well, talking about the last street fights I had, so I've literally only had 2. So the first one was against Eli Everfly, and he's one of those where he don't give a fuck, and I'm the same way. Once I'm in it, I don't give a fuck. And me and him definitely had like very good chemistry with one another, feeding off one another. And
Who went over?
What's that?
Who went over?
He did. Yeah.
Eli went over.
Eli went over.
Okay.
I mean,
Sorry.
he's the champ for Canna Pro now.
Hey, man.
So
You didn't book this shit.
I didn't. But he's definitely one of those where, and that's the thing with like, not hardcore matches, death matches, whatever. Michael probably never be in one.
I got hit by a chair once.
Yeah, a chair. But it's one of those where you go into it and it's like this is gonna suck. This is 100% like my head's gonna hurt after this, my body's gonna hurt after this. I'm gonna be pulling thumbtacks out of my back, my
One
ass.
thou wow.
Yeah, 100%. But it's one of those where, like, at the end of the day, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun with Eli, and then after that, I had the street fight, the death match with Damien, and that old man beat the hell out of me, 100%. I like to think I got my shots in too, but he legit beat the hell out of me, 100%. But the coolest thing was, I mean, again, we hit each other with chairs, trash cans, kendo sticks, light tubes, anything and everything. And a pizza slicer cut me open. I was bleeding everywhere. He was bleeding everywhere. But the coolest thing was after the match, I went over. But afterwards, people started throwing money in the ring. That has never happened to me before in a match. And
Really?
Never happened to me.
That's awesome.
And people started throwing money in the ring and showing respect to us. And Dom, correct me, Fab, Lucha
Extrema.
Yeah, that. They were yelling that.
Extrema.
Yeah, they were yelling that to us, and it got me like super pumped up. And standing in the middle of the ring with Damien, who, my God, is known for this. You know, he's. I told Meryl to make her feel better. He's basically the Mexican Mick Foley. Is pretty much what I said. He's pretty much known as the Mexican Mick Foley. And yeah, and she was cool with it because she trusted him. She knew he wasn't going to take privileges, or he was going to take care of me out there. And you know, afterwards when people were throwing money in the ring, and it felt good. I mean, we got a shit ton of money that night from people throwing it in there, and we came back to the back. And you know, not to like kill the business or anything like that, but he came up to me, asked me, he said, "Damn," he said, that was good. What was the story?
I knew you were gonna ask me, and I fucking forgot.
No. It was his son Bestia and Mecha Wolf were right there, and he had the money. He had the bucket full of money, and it was crazy because you know, like it's before, like once you go out, you try to like talk about your match. But there's the death matches. There's no talking. There's like, okay, there's the finish.
Yep.
You know, that's the way it was with him. We didn't talk about anything, and so I was legit nervous, and he could kind of tell I was nervous. And I think like Bestia and Mecha Wolf were kind of like ribbing him and stuff like you know, you're gonna go out there and have a bad match, blah blah blah. And he came back with that bucket full of money. I think he tossed it down on the ground. And he's like,
that's what it was.
What'd he say?
Okay, he came back with the thing full of money. He tossed it on the ground. He goes, "God damn it! When do I ever give a bad match?"
Yeah.
And he came up to me after he did that, and he hugged me, and he said, "Good job." He said, "Damn good job."
That's great,
man. I was sore as shit, but man, it was worth it, dude.
I gotta go. Does any part of you go, God, I kind of like the experience what the indies are all about?
Well, I originally thought that's what I was gonna do.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, I had my plan set on. You know, I was already booked for my debut in South Africa.
What?
Yeah.
Goddamn, kid.
I don't even know if I but that's what was told until other things started coming about and opportunities presented themselves, and you know, I got the ball and ran with it.
Yeah.
But,
that's cool.
Yeah. So I mean, I would have personally have loved to get that. Like, I don't know how it would have been. But I would have definitely loved to have done some indie shows here and there, and like definitely get some experience, because that's what I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. But like, you know, things happen.
Yeah. Well, the indies are fun because obviously you have a lot more control, you know, like over what you do creative wise and all that stuff. But hey, man, I think you made the right choice.
Yeah.
What was the rest of the question?
The last part of the question was, if you could handpick a contender for the Ground Zero Championship, who deserves a shot?
I'd love to beat your ass.
I think it was one for death matches too. I will say this: I know if anybody hears it, I have two dream opponents. I want to wrestle Mance Warner.
Okay.
He would be street fight, death match, whatever, and I have a lot of respect for him. I want to fight him, wrestle him, whatever. And then that could be either Ground Zero, Canada Pro, wherever. I don't care. And either or for him or Nick Gage.
Okay.
One of the two. You know, I watched Nick Gage at a Game Changer Wrestling show one time, and then I looked up who he was. Dude is known for death matches, but dude can also go too.
Yep.
Dude can also work too. And, you know, B-Boy knows him, very well known in the CZW world. You know, it's one of those where I'm gonna say it now. I'm gonna put it in fruition, manifest it, whatever. If anybody's out there listening and want to see it happen, hey, Mance Warner versus Hunter Freeman or Mance Warner versus Nick Gage. I don't, you know, let it happen. Yeah, it'd be cool.
There you go. That's two good names.
Yeah, man, it would be cool, man. You know, it was. I'm sure they would beat the hell out of me, but. You know, hey, I'm not gonna.
You got two hands yourself, brother.
Yeah, I'm not gonna fucking back down. You know, I'm not.
There you go.
Speaking of GCW,
yes, that's on this weekend, right?
It starts January 29th and ends on January 30th.
We're talking about the GCW Fight Forever, and the Hogsmen Pod is an official sponsor.
Nice.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
So listen, hopefully they. Hopefully we get something out of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. A few more followers, whatever.
The only other part of the question that I didn't ask was this an ask for permission or ask for forgiveness scenario?
You know what that means?
Yeah, it was ask for forgiveness, 100%.
Which means you didn't smarten up the wife before.
Oh, 100%.
Good man, that's a worker.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, does Pops ever got to smarten up moms? Or like at least like give her like, hey.
I don't know. She still kind of buys in sometimes. Like she's very gullible. So like so for example, when I got kendo sticked, she still to this day has not seen that.
Oh really?
Right? She still hasn't seen it. And every time she like looks at the pictures or like when she FaceTimed me, she cried.
Damn.
Yeah. So and then when I got my ass beat by Brock and I got stretchered out, my mom freaked instantly. She called my dad. She yelled at us for not letting her know that we were okay.
Damn.
So like she's still kind of like, you know, she wants to make sure that you know I'm good and that Pops is good too.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you're probably always going to like work the mom, right? Cuz like she cares, like she sees you out there getting beat up.
Yeah, but she's a Latina mom, so like it's, you know,
It happens with
she's extra emotional.
No, it happens with southern moms too. Because when Mike superplexed me off the top rope, you hear my mom in the background going, "Don't do that shit."
You know, be sick. You know, be sick in your debut match when your mom walked out and she just had like the the chancla? Is that she just had the chancla in hand, like ready to fucking go. I would have been like, "Fuck yeah!"
Or she took the earrings out. That's what Meryl said. Meryl said all she's missing is earrings to take out right now.
That would have taken that storyline over
to the next level.
Exactly.
Throw hands with Seth.
Let whoever needs hires over at WWE, if they need creative, hit me up.
Any writers?
I'm like, you know what this match needs is the chancla thing. What is that? What is it? Is that right? Chancla? Chancla, yeah. The flip-flop.
Flip-flop.
Right? Basically flip-flop, right?
Flip-flop.
All right, here we go. What's next?
This is a DM from Petey, who always sends questions.
What's his name again?
Petey Skeeves.
Lightning something.
No, Petey Skeeves. That's it.
No, what's his fucking name? Rebel Storm. There you go. Rebel Storm. All right, here we go.
All right, he starts off the question, Buenos Tardes, Hogs, and guests. Mike, do you have anything to say about that?
Don't ever say that again, Petey.
This question is a bit of a thing.
Wait, hold on. What does that mean? What does he say?
What?
What do you
Buenos Tardes, Hogs, and guests.
What is
That's
that?
good afternoon.
Okay.
If we had a kazoo, I'd kazoo him.
He always asks these questions that are just... This question is a bit of a thinker. If you could add a 0 to the end of anything on your life, what would it be? For example, if you currently only bench 150 pounds, adding a 0 to the end would make it 1,500 pounds. Thank you for the math, PD. Be creative. Be creative like I know you guys are. Cheers to 1 year of hogging.
I hate Petey, by the way. Can I just say this? I hate him.
I also hate him.
Add a 0 to anything in your life to kind of make. Well, I want zeros in my bank account.
Yeah.
I think that's the easy answer. I think anyone in this room would
Across
probably
the board?
answer that.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
Across the board.
I
Across
can't
the
even.
board, right, boys?
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know if I want to live forever.
that's the thing. Yeah, man.
Unless I had like some sort of unless I had like some badass superpowers.
It literally depends what happens to your body. Does your body continue to decay? Or are you saying I'm going to live to 200, but I'm going to still feel the way I feel right now?
I feel like you're
That's
going
fair.
against.
Then I would say that.
You're going against nature if you're like, oh, I want to live to like 800.
If I'm 200 years old and I literally am falling apart, then I'm like, no, I don't want that.
Yeah,
Fuck
that sounds terrible. What do they say? You're older a lot longer than you are younger.
Yeah.
All right. So, PD,
bank
thanks for
account.
the question, but
Sure.
bank account across the board.
Yeah.
All right. So these are the questions that were put on Hunter's Instagram account when he put it out today.
All right.
That's right.
Way
Nick-
to promote the show.
Yes.
Hunter.
Welcome.
Appreciate
Thank you.
it.
He's done more promotion than the former co-host of this podcast. Mixed Mutt says, glad to see you making your comeback.
No.
If you could work for any company, what company would you want to work for?
Here we go. We're going to cross the board on this, but Hunter, go ahead and.
Well, I mean, the obvious answer is I always wanted to work for the WWE. I mean, that would be yes, 100%. But the wrestler in me, the professional wrestler in me would say whichever company would give me the opportunity. I would work for WWE. I would work for AEW. I'd work for Impact. I'd work for Ring of Honor. I'd work for MLW. It's whoever would take a chance on me. Because I promise you, if you take a chance on me, I'm going to give you everything I got, 100%.
All right.
It's just who's willing to take a chance on me.
But
You
if
know what I
every
mean?
company was offering, it would be WWE, right?
I mean, that's
I think the kind of question. Yeah.
That's the go-to. I mean,
That should be everybody's
We
answer.
all watched it growing up. I mean, it's not saying that if AEW didn't, say, hey, we want you, I'd be like, yeah, 100% I would. But it would be, and I'm not going to sit here and say I'm not going to give that answer if I had to sit here and choose between the two, because I don't think any of us would. But it's one of those where you watched it growing up. Your name wants to be a part of that, of the people who were there before. And the same thing with if one of us was to get offered with AEW, it would be the same. We would be right there with, a lot of our friends that are there, a lot of people that we've worked, different things like that, and it would just kind of, we would all benefit from it, 100%. So
There you go. Shaw, what about you, dog?
Mid-South Wrestling in 1984.
There you go. That's cool. I'm down with that.
That's very
Hunter's like, God damn it! Can I retract my
retract.
How about you, Sexy Fab? Never mind.
If
Shaw.
I was going to be serious, though, yeah, of course it would be WWE.
All right.
Yeah.
Fab.
I wouldn't mind working down in Mexico, CMLL,
It's cool.
for Arena Mexico. That'd be
There
sick.
you go. There we go. All right, excellent. I'll go. Actually, to tell you the truth, I'd probably want to sign with MLW right now. I know people want, WWE is obviously a lot of people's answer, but I look at
That's my answer.
Yeah, exactly.
Don,
Oh, Don, where do you dream of working?
But I see a lot of people. Obviously, a lot of people would say WWE, but I look at it right now, and WWE has got a huge roster right now. So I feel like if you went there, you could potentially get lost in the sauce.
be put on the back burner.
I would want to go somewhere that's probably a little bit smaller where I can make a bigger name for myself. And also, I think you have a lot more creative control over where you can go. But that's right now. You never know what's going to change in the future. Maybe opportunity. You see another promotion. Maybe you go and work at a MLW promotion, and then you do your time there, and you go, hey, you know what? It's time to take this up to another notch. I want to go work at AEW.
Next level.
And, just a little step up in the game. Or maybe even New Japan. I would love to wrestle for a company like that.
Oh, yeah. 100%. I mean, just exactly what you said. Who's to say that if you work for MLW or New Japan or Ring of Honor that, they're not I'm not going to say bigger companies, but, the ones at the top tier are not looking at those guys because 100% they are.
Mm-hmm.
I think they are anyways.
Well, that's where you go and make it. That's where you go. The smaller companies, MLW, Ring of Honor, smaller promotions like that is where you go get your fan base.
Yeah.
You go make your fan base there. That way, when you go to the negotiation table with WWE or AEW, you go, hey, this is what I'm bringing.
Yeah.
This is what I'm bringing.
Yeah.
So that helps you out. Yeah. All right, that's my answer. And then, what'd you say, Dom? You said AEW.
Absolutely. I said WWE.
There
and
you
I'm
go.
very appreciative of the opportunities. Thank you, Mr. McMahon.
God bless the World Wrestling Federation.
He's definitely listening, so let's make sure. DTF Abel says, I guess it's for everyone too, if you could go back and give yourself one piece of advice right before your debut, what would it be?
Here's a good one. I'm going to start with the newest debut, Fab. Admit you don't know shit.
I don't know shit.
There you go. That's a good debuting answer. Is there anything that you feel like, hey, I wish I would have done this or known this? Go ahead. I'll let you answer. It's a tough one.
I can't really think of one, to be honest, right now.
It's tough in your situation right now to know, I wish I knew this.
Exactly, because I'm still learning day by day.
Yeah. No, you just had the right answer. Because you debuted it back in October.
Mm-hmm.
You're still working on this stuff.
Yeah, I just had my 5th match this past weekend, so.
Not until down the road you start to go, oh man, I wish I knew this before I debuted.
Yeah.
You look back on your career and you kind of start to realize that at this point you thought you were good. Turns out you were the shits. And then fast forward 5 years, you think you were really good. Turns out you're still the shits. Mm-hmm. And then you fast forward 10, you just always look back at yourself and go, God, I didn't know shit back then. So, what about you, Shaw?
Don't agree to team up with Darren Troy Fable. Right before my debut, I'd say wait, because I debuted after 6 weeks, and that was way too soon.
Yep.
I'd wait at least 6 months.
Yep.
It was about 6 months in that I probably had my first decent match. So,
what about you, Hunter?
So when I read this today, I actually thought about this one. This was one that really stuck out to me. I have 2 answers for it. One is I wouldn't let myself be complacent and plateau. Don't let yourself plateau. Don't let yourself be complacent in this business. If I could go back and tell my younger self this, maybe not so much my debut self, but definitely first starting out, Hunter. And then the second answer would be careful who you trust in this business.
Yep.
100%.
Yep.
There's a lot of people out there who are going to claim to be your friends. There's a lot of people out there who are legit your friends. Am I saying that everybody out there, we got to be like, lovey-dovey with one another and be homies? No, we don't. But there are people out there who you're just kind of better off just shaking their hand, saying, hey, how you doing, and let that be it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
When you let somebody in and then they wind up taking advantage of you or something like that, then it kind of hurts yourself in this business, So, again, I thought about this was a good question in my book, and that's what I think. If I could go back and tell my younger self starting out in this business, is just be careful who you trust in this business. You know what I mean?
It's good. I agree with that. What about you, Dom? Anything like that?
I don't know. I'm kind of in the same boat as Fab. I debuted last year in August, so I got a couple months on him, and then I just had my 9th match, 10th if you count the Survivor Series Battle Royal. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what I'd tell myself. Probably fucking I don't even know.
You're right. You're in the same boat where you only had 10 matches, really?
9.
Damn.
Nine matches, 10 being the Battle Royal.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you this. My answer is I wish I would have trained longer. I wish I would have waited to debut. I wish I would have been in your boat, Dom. And Fab, how long did you train before you debuted?
Probably a good year.
Yeah.
But,
okay.
I mean, it would have been a year in May. But, I mean, we had to shut down for a while because of COVID. So, I would say a good, maybe year and 3 months of training before my debut.
See, I debuted within 3 months. And if you go back and watch my earlier matches, you're like, ugh, they're crap. So I wish I would have waited. And as much as it sucks waiting. Now, Dom, you had 3 years? You waited a while.
I did about 2 years.
2 years.
Because I'm reaching I just hit my 3-year mark of training.
So, I'm sure during the time when you're training, you're like, this sucks. I want to, debut, right? And
I was honestly in no hurry.
Really?
Yeah.
Chilled back.
I mean, at the end of the day, because, I felt I knew there was a pressure. So, I didn't want to go out there and look like shit. I didn't want to go out there and, be the drizzling shits.
Yeah.
So I wanted to make sure that, when I did have my first match, that I made an impact and I made, a good impression and people were, impressed by what I brought to the table. So that's, I think, and my dad kind of, guided me that way, too, to wait it out a bit.
Yeah.
So I think that helped.
It's the right idea, man. Wait. You really, the more time you put into training and learning all that stuff and the basic fundamentals and everything, the better you're going to look down your debut. So I wish I would have waited longer. And actually, I have a question for you, Dom, real quick. Because I brought this up a couple weeks ago. We were talking about training, right? There's a lot of, I don't know how a lot of people train. Usually when it's my night to train, I kind of just show basic stuff, right? Real small little stuff, technical stuff, little detailed oriented stuff. And I tell people the flashy stuff, the real flash, flashy moves, turns out they're pretty easy. You do it, you practice it, and then eventually you get it. The hard stuff is the technical stuff. It's everything that's not the flashy moves. It's the little nuances, the facial expressions,
the nitpicking stuff.
Yeah, is that something? Because I've seen you come in here and be like, "Hey, Dom, what would be a really good move is if you springboard into a lucha arm drag," and you're like, "Okay," and on the 5th attempt you got it, and then next thing you know, you're doing it on Raw.
Yeah.
But if I said, come in here and Dom, really work this arm, work the arm, get real, make me believe you're hurting them. That's the hard part.
Yeah.
Learning how to do that. Would you agree with that kind of stuff?
1000%. Yeah.
It's the little stuff that's the hard stuff to master.
Yeah. And that's funny you said that, because on Friday after the match, my dad always talks to me about how I did, and I always like to ask too, because I want to know so I can be better. And it's always the little things. It's always my facial expressions, how I gave this, how I gave that, or how I got up. Not even anything on the moves. It's just the small nitpicking stuff.
Yep. Because that's
every match,
and that's what tells the story, is those little things.
Yeah.
So. All right, is that it for the questions?
No, I have one more. I promised him I'd do it.
Here
These
we
are
go.
questions from Devin.
We're going to go down the line on here.
These aren't really good questions, but I told him I would do it, so I'm doing it. His question to Mike is number 1, how dare you?
Excellent.
Excellent. His question to Dom is, who'd you ever beat?
Murphy.
There you
Murphy,
go.
there you go.
Who
There you
beat?
go.
I don't know. I'm sure he beat a couple people. He was a cruiserweight champion.
He was.
Yeah,
he
he
was.
Which
He was.
at the end of the day makes me the guy who beat an
Did he
ex
beat
cruiserweight.
Seth?
Yeah, he beat Seth.
So then,
got
by
in.
proxy, you've beaten Seth now.
There
and
you
by
go.
proxy, I won't go that far. but yes,
There you go.
And are we going down?
He asked Benny the same question, but Benny's not here. So,
Oh.
who'd you ever beat, Hunter?
Hunter, who've you ever beat?
I beat Devin Sparks.
Oh,
There you go.
oh, that's a good one.
Actually, I
do
think
that.
I have a win over Devin too.
You have a
But he
win over
has a win over me too.
Does he?
We've wrestled twice. Yeah.
Uh-oh. I have a win over Devin.
Tiebreaker.
A championship.
I have a win over Gangrel, which I appreciate. I have a win over Matt Stryker, which was cool.
Nice.
I got a question. Fab, who do you have a win over?
I actually have a win on El Numero Uno.
You do.
You put him
Camden.
over?
I did.
Wow,
Mike doing
Nice.
Mike
Lord's
always
work.
giving back to the business.
that's how the business should work.
It is.
Watch
Good on
it.
you, Mike. For
Yep. It'll be available soon on IWTV.
Hell yeah.
So, dude, I don't give a fuck, man. I'll put people over. I don't give a
real.
shit.
You put me over before.
I put
appreciate
you
it.
over multiple times,
Multiple
bitch.
times. Yeah. Yes, you have.
God damn.
Remember our ladder match?
Carrying this motherfucker for months.
Ladder match?
Yeah, it was a good match.
Was.
It was a
Your
good
back
match.
hurt like Romans.
No, man. You'd be surprised. Ladder bumps ain't terrible as long as you know how to fall on the ladder. If you
We had two ladders though. One was a fiberglass ladder, and then the other one was a metal one. The one that could actually bend. You know,
aluminum.
the aluminum one. Yeah. Well, we needed the aluminum one to actually reach what we were going for because the fucking fiberglass one couldn't reach. So guess what? All the bumps had to go on. The fiberglass one.
Fiberglass.
So it's.
I've actually done multiple ladder matches. And,
I've only done one. It was with you.
Really?
That was it. Yeah.
I mean, if you fall on that ladder wrong, you're fucked. But if you do it right, you'll be okay. It's fun, man. I enjoyed ladder matches. I have no problem with them.
Sometimes you gotta have a gimmick match.
Yeah.
When's your next death match? When are you doing it?
I don't know. We'll see how. Maybe I'll go for that Ground Zero title.
We'll do
Sure.
it, bro.
How
We'll
about
do
you,
it.
Shaw? Who you ever beat?
I don't win very often.
Hey,
But I did most recently on my most recent television appearance beat the hell out of Gentleman Jervis, and that was awesome.
there you go.
Nice.
There you go. You get heel turn. Not so sweet, Robin Shaw.
No, I'm definitely still sweet.
Oh, you're so sweet.
Yeah.
All right.
He's been doing it up there at Primetime.
Yeah, he's
Primetime
killing it.
Championship. Yeah, man. They're so on that. Like, how often are they like trying to throw out, different tapings and stuff?
So the last taping we did was in November, and they canceled the January one because of the COVID spike. I don't know when the next one will be. I'm assuming in February, but I know they canceled Primetime too until things kind of calm down. So hopefully soon, because I didn't just turn evil just for it to end there. I want to actually fight Jervis, and he can try to fight back. He's not going to win, but
There you go. Is that it for the questions?
That's it. Thank you. We've had a lot of questions the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, I
So,
appreciate it. Thank you guys.
you're welcome.
All right, here's the last set of questions, and we're going to take this shit home. Fab, give me a goal for 2021.
2021.
Yeah, give me a goal for this year, dog.
Let's see. I haven't really put much thought into that.
All right, pass the mic and sit on it. Shaw, give me a goal.
wrestle as much as possible and try to not suck at it.
All right, Hunter, give me a goal or two. Guys, it ain't even got to be wrestling. It can be another life goal. I don't give a shit.
I'm going to go back to what I put out January 1st. I'm going to continue to be a good father, a good husband, try to continue to be a good human being, continue to be a better professional wrestler, to make those matches that I called out. So Nick Gage, Mance Warner, I'll even call him out too. Another one, Tyler Bateman.
There you go.
That's another one too.
You've been chasing that one for a while.
I have been chasing that one for a while.
There you go.
And I don't know who I need to talk to about it. He's one. I got to wrestle him once. And it was in a tag match, and it did not go to the best in the world for reasons B. But I feel like a one-on-one, me and him, people would get their money's worth for it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I mean, you've wrestled him multiple times.
Mhm.
It's just he's one of those where it's like it's kind of like when you wrestle B-Boy. you wrestle B-Boy, and if you can hold your own in there in the ring with him, you've made another level.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when I wrestled B-Boy, that happened with me. It's the same thing. I want to go to him, and I want to try to hit that next level. You know what I mean? Constantly have goals on this.
There you go. Dom, what's your goals, dog? IC championship?
I mean, I'd love to be a champion.
Maybe win the Rumble this weekend?
I mean, that's I'd love to win the Rumble one day. But I think 2021 goals, I'd like to better my physique, and I would like to be tag team champs with my dad.
There you go.
Oh yeah,
That'd be cool.
Good old father-son duo. Has that ever been done before?
I don't know. I don't like to.
I don't think not belts. I don't think like belts weren't involved or anything like that. But you think about all the good father-son like duos that happen. I remember watching a clip the other day with The Rock and his dad. Rocky.
Oh, really?
And it was
Two studs.
Two studs, man. Just yoked, just out of their mind. And then you got like Cody and Dusty, and Cody, Dustin, and
Don't forget Randy and Cowboy Bob.
Yeah, Randy and Cowboy Bob.
But they never held tag championships, right? So like that'd be fucking
Yeah,
cool.
I think that'd be cool.
'Cause you guys, I'm pretty sure you guys do the first,
Yeah.
unless somebody else knows something none of us know.
And I was gonna mention this too. It's when you sit there and you talk about like all these wrestlers that have been able to tag with their fathers in this business, something that they love, giving their life for. I was gonna ask you, man, what's it mean to you to be able to go out there and do this, on a weekly basis with your dad out there, Like,
I mean, it's a blessing, man. Like going from seeing him twice a week or like once a week or like sometimes not even seeing him for like weeks on end, like to
That's crazy.
yeah, wild, right? To like all of a sudden just travel with him every week, have him ringside, work with him. The other 2 weeks ago when we first came back on our first SmackDown, he was like, "Hey, can you go get me a shirt?" And I was like, "Yeah, which one?" Because he has 2 shirts right now. He has a baby blue one, and then he has like an original one. And then he goes, "One of yours." I was like, it just like blew my mind. Like that's so crazy to me that like he's walking out there with one of my merch shirts that WWE made. Like that's awesome. It's a blessing.
By the way, fantastic shirt. Hunter, go ahead and show that thing off real
Yes,
quick.
sir.
one more
Again.
time. Where can you find these?
We can find this on the WWEshop.com.
That is
with
a cool shirt, man.
Domenik Mysterio defendiendo la familia.
What does that mean?
That means defending the family.
Ah, nice.
Also, I just looked it up. No father and son have ever won the tag titles, but father and sons have won the same title. So if you win the Intercontinental title at some point, you'll have that. But if you win the tag titles with your dad,
It's a whole different
that's
category.
a first.
There you
Let's
go.
Which
do
makes
it.
sense because, usually the father and the son are usually at different starting points. The dad's usually not still wrestling
Yeah.
when the son starts wrestling.
Yeah. One thing, I don't know if it's going to happen this year. I want to go to Thailand. I want to go train Muay Thai in Thailand.
You've been doing that a lot here lately.
Yeah, I got to stay in shape, man. Got to stay in shape. Dude, do you remember when we first came back from the first original shutdown?
Oh, yeah,
and you and I were in the ring sucking wind?
Our Rocky.
I
and
was
Apollo-
there.
Our Rocky and Apollo night. Yeah.
Was I there the second night?
It might have been the second night, yeah.
I
You
remember
were there to
that.
say it. The
I was
first
there the
night was
second
rough.
Dude, I hate that feeling, too. I hate that feeling of, like, your lungs are on fire.
Yeah.
So that's helped me a lot lately, like keeping the cardio up. And then I want to go. I'd love to go wrestle at the Crash. I want to go wrestle at Hood Slam. I want to go wrestle a lot of these cool promotions, man. They got going on around the world. So we'll see what happens, man.
Same, man. That's goals, Mike.
Keep goals, guys. Okay, let's go back to Fab. Now you have time to think about it.
He
Give
probably
me
didn't.
one goal that you believe is attainable.
Something not wrestling related, probably.
I don't give anything.
Probably get a little bit stronger for sure.
There you go. You can get stronger.
Yeah, just start hitting the weights more.
You know how you get stronger? Get under the weight.
There you go.
Get under the weight. Maybe a cycle or two. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Great
I gotta
advice.
get my cardio too, so definitely be working.
This
on
is
that.
now the second time this month that Mike has suggested someone go on a cycle.
Maybe a pharmacia in Tijuana.
Mike, he has no idea what you're talking about.
Ah, okay.
A cycle? You mean get on the bike?
I'll
Would
give you.
Rogan call it the pharmacy down in Mexico? You know what I'm talking about, right? In the podcast,
I can't remember exactly.
he mentioned it. It was some like weird way about the being on the juice, but Yeah.
That was a great impression. I don't know how many people are gonna pick that up, but I picked it up.
I asked Dom about the post I sent to him the other day on Instagram. It was a video of who he just talked about, and he was making his entrance, going out. He was looking at the camera, the Roman camera, and he was backing up backwards, just straight up tripped over the stairs.
Shit.
Either got back up, but legit, I can't talk. He's one of the coolest people ever. He is.
One day you're gonna be in that situation too,
Where you
man.
fall and bust your ass. That's happened.
Fall and bust your ass, dude.
Yeah.
All of us. SoCal Pro used to have a ramp out of their in their entrance, and it was so steep. And I would always worry because cats are going out with like wet hair and like all that kind of stuff.
Wet hair,
And
slick boots.
Devin ate shit on that ramp one time.
Did he?
Yeah.
Give me the show. I want to watch
Back
it.
bumped the ramp.
Nice.
Yeah. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys all attain your goals. I hope this year is a little bit better for everybody.
Same to you, Mike.
I appreciate you guys sitting in on this podcast. 1 year, guys.
Here's to many more years.
I'm not gonna lie to
Shout
you guys.
out.
This fucking year of like doing a podcast, it's a bitch. It's like you have to really like set aside time to do this shit. Adam knows now. He's been doing it for a few months now with me,
I
and
haven't missed an episode.
you haven't missed an episode, which I appreciate. That's a trooper right there.
Nice.
But yeah, man, I appreciate you guys.
Thanks for having me on again. I really appreciate
man.
it.
It's always fun having you on. You got
Thanks
these
for having me on again.
Shaw 2 in a row.
Thanks for having us on the 1 year anniversary.
There you go, Fab. You're killing it, kid. You're killing it, Hunter.
Thanks, man.
My dog.
Appreciate it.
My brother.
Yeah.
Shut up, Hunter.
Shut up, Dom.
So
Hey, WWE, can you book me and Dom in a match? Can I beat the hell out
Death
of
match.
him? Death match. No, it was it's definitely tell from the first episode to now. Got a lot more followers, things like that. So like I said, here's to many more years of the Hogsmen.
I don't know how long it's gonna last. Tell you the truth, I think I just kind of was like, I'm gonna at least get a year out of this. I'm gonna at least do this for a year. We'll see what happens from here. Now that we have the Hogsmen red and black, right?
That's true.
We got the Hogsmen red and black.
Drops every Thursday.
That's Devin's show now.
So are you going to ask me, am I black and white or am I red and black?
No, you're nothing.
I'm nothing right now?
No, you're nothing right
You
now.
want to be on the red and black?
No, I would definitely be on Mike's.
And actually, this show is the yellow and purple.
Yellow and purple.
I was just going to call it the OG because that seems like something you would want to call it.
That's cool too.
The Hogsman OG.
Cool with that.
Seems very Mike Camden like.
But yeah, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. I want to say thank you to everybody that has participated with this podcast for the past year. And it's been a lot of fun, man. It's been a bitch, but it's also been a lot of fun. I hope people are enjoying it. And go check out that GCW Fight Forever. It's this weekend. The Hogsman podcast is as an official sponsor.
Devin claims that the new shirts will be on a store soon.
Excellent.
Might be there right now, so check it out. We posted pictures of the new shirts. So
Cool.
When is this releasing?
tomorrow.
Oh, and don't forget to check out Friday Night SmackDown and the Royal Rumble on the WWE Network this
There
Sunday.
you go.
$9.99.
Hey, so before we go, just to give the boys some love in here, let's get their handles just where they can get some followers out there.
Fab.
You know what I mean?
Give them your Instagram and your Twitter. Go for it.
Instagram, Twitter, same handle, Fabe _32.
Can you spell it out for us?
FAB _32.
There
That's
you
where
go.
you'll find me.
There you go. Shaw, hit me with it again.
Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, all of it. Sweet Robin Shaw, one word. Sweet as in candies, Robin as in the bird, Shaw as in SHAW. I also have a pro wrestling tee store, but as I said last week, you shouldn't like me, so don't buy my shirt.
There you go. That's a hell of a sales pitch right there.
Right?
It's like the Cartman, you can't come in here. Did you guys ever see that episode where he buys
No, but I love South Park.
amusement park and he says nobody can
Yeah.
come in? It's basically the Eric Cartman sales pitch. All right, go, Hunter.
Facebook, Hunter Freeman. Instagram, Twitter, SoCal Redneck.
There
Can't
you
miss
go.
me.
There you go. Dom, do you even need any more followers?
I mean, I would like some.
All right, there you go. Go.
You got his blue check.
Instagram only on Instagram. I don't have a blue check on Twitter.
Twitter, get your shit together.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Twitter, but I mean, Instagram at Domenik 35, I think,
There you go.
and then Twitter I think is at Dom Mysterio, and then I don't have Facebook. A lot of people DM me saying that like I sell them shit and merchandise on Facebook, but that's not me. I don't have a Facebook.
Dom does not sell merchandise or collector's memorabilia on Facebook. He sells it out the
www.shop.com.
trunk of his car. All right.
That is false.
So, anyways, yeah, that's and then yeah, you have the at Hogsman Pod on both Twitter and Instagram. Adam, I want to say thank you for helping me out with the podcast. Ted, if you're out there, you took this podcast to another level.
Shout out to Ted.
Appreciate it. Thank you, Devin. Thank you very much for being my partner in crime on this podcast. Big Duke, listen, man.
Love to meet him one day.
You've been very tardy and absent, but I appreciate you helping me out when I was training and also riding with me all the time. And, eventually we'll get you on the podcast again. And I think that's about it, guys. Is there anything else that needs to be said? Anything like that?
Hit it with a mic.
Let's see. Thank you again, guys. Appreciate it. Check this podcast out on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify. Shout out to 10 Barrel Brewing, Cheap Fun Beer.
What's up?
What's up? I think that's about it. Is there anything
Level
else?
Up Pro Wrestling School.
That's right. Level Up Pro Wrestling School. Also, the Level Up Studios. But we are going to be releasing matches on IWTV that we're filming here every weekend. And so check that out when that goes up on the website. And Hunter, I'm gonna let you do it this time, okay? Because you want to be a Hogsman. I'm not gonna
Don't fuck it up.
I'm not accepting applications right now, but still, you can say this. Hunter, if they want the tip, what do they got to do?
They got to take the whole hog, baby.
Adios. Thanks, guys.